Selasie, now I want to talk about that journey you took. Okay. See, when you told me that you were once an engineer working in engineering sector, and now you are in this art space, I knew there must be something interesting to talk about there. See, anyway, you tell us your story. How did you get into engineering, working in engineering, and finally decided, I'm going in a different direction? What happened?
Okay, so right after university, I found myself in this company. I don't want to mention their name because
okay.
Yeah.
Be fair to them. Don't.
Yeah, our relationship didn't end well. Yeah, so I found myself in this company doing my national service, and I had my degree with thinking I'm going to change the world with engineering and stuff like that. And then on the first day of national service, they gave me my overall, my helmet, my boots, and they took me to a workshop. And they were like, yeah, you completed university, but you should learn how to weld, you should learn how to cut metals, you should learn how to do fabrication. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. But and I went home that day and told my mom, you know what, I cannot do this. And I'm not going to lie to you, I really appreciate my mom because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now. She pushed me and pushed me, and I'm her only son, so she's really, really particular about me.
Wow.
And I went back to work the next day, and they were like, "Yeah, you're going to learn how to weld." I complained about. I'm currently wearing contact lens, but I was wearing glasses back then. I complained about it. They were like, "No, at that time they had that mindset. Most of the people working there were they were high school graduates, so they have this bad energy towards university graduates because they know eventually they'll start earning more than them.
Yeah.
So
You're
they
going
try
to be
to
their
punish
boss.
you. Exactly. They try to punish you before. So for the first 6 months, I found myself doing a lot of welding, metal fabrication, and
I
stuff.
think that's actually good for you. See?
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
I hated it so much, but it was fine. I mean, I've gone through it and I'm over. I used to use hacksaw machines to cut metal. But
Wow.
it taught me so much. I understood the different types of materials. Square pipes, UPM pipes, UP angle bars. The different types of pipes and what they are used for, and other connecting materials. And I learned so much from it. But I think in the 4th month, I started in September, and then in December, I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I need to move forward because I have really good skills when it comes to engineering drawings and engineering design. I am really good at it.
That's what you want to do.
That's what I wanted to do. And that was one of the main reasons I chose engineering, because at least I could get to invent or create things from scratch. That was my main reason for doing engineering. And they had me here welding and cutting metals.
You only wanted to create those things on paper. Eh? Those guys wanted to teach you how to create it.
Eh? Exactly. So it helped me. It really helped me. I'll lie to you. And through that, I also got to understand how to work with people, because I found myself both in the junior staff department. I found myself in the senior staff department. So I could relate to both worlds,
Good.
And in December, I told myself I'm not entering 2019 with 2018. I started in 2017. So I'm not entering 2018 with me working as a welder or a fabricator. I'm not doing that. So I went to my project manager at the time and I told him, you know what? I have skills. I'm really good. I can literally do this work. I can do engineering drawings. I can do project management. I can be a painting inspector. I can do anything you want me to do. And he looked at me and he was like, who are you? What do you know? And I entered his office with these dirty overalls, with my boots and everywhere with oil and stuff. And he asked for my qualification, and I told him where I came from, where I did my internships and all of that. And he was shocked because HR department didn't tell him who I was or where I came from. He also assumed I was a high school graduate. So once he found out, he was like, you know what, let me give you a chance. And I started working bit by bit, bit by bit. And from when I finished my national service, I found myself working multiple roles. I was a draftsman. I was a painting inspector at a point. I went into project management. I was in quality control. I was even doing document control at a point, logistics. I was just working in multiple places because they couldn't place a job description on me, like one job description. And I remember one time I was helping the HR. At a point, I was even helping the HR out with the company structure. And she didn't know where to place me because I was answering to everybody. Multiple people were answering to me. I was just all over the place. So I took advantage of it because this is how I decided to see myself. And I was like, you know what? If I'm to run a company one day, and I use the company I was working in as an example, I need to understand what everyone does. So I used to imagine myself as, you know what, I'll be a project manager one day. At the same time, I was running Artemartis as my side hustle. But my aim in that company was to be a project manager. And in order to get there, I needed to understand what everyone does because there were some project managers there who didn't really understand everyone's role. They depended on workshop managers or other supervisors to explain some things to them. But I found myself in a situation where, you know, I understood everything. So it would be best if I get to that position. And getting there was really difficult. I never really got there. I got to the position before project manager. My last position before I left was project engineer. So I was one step close and I just quit. So I was also applying a lot of things I learned, especially in project management, to work on Artemartis. And later on, I weighed my options and I was like, you know what? If I truly want to be happy with what I'm doing, if I want to buy my freedom, if I want to have an amazing life, I need to take a risk and work on something that is more fulfilling for me. So I just jumped from my company. Actually, months before, in the beginning of 2021, I wrote a list of things that I wanted for that year. And I told myself that I will do whatever it takes to achieve at least 50% of what I wrote. One of them was quitting my job. One of them was more opportunities for the company. One of them was moving out of my mom's house, which was the most challenging thing I ever did. Because I moved out when I was recovering from COVID, and I had lung infections and blood clots, and my mom didn't want me to leave. Yeah, it was very serious.
Oh my God.
But I was like, you know what? If I stay in this town, I don't think I'll be happy. I need to move. So I called a friend of mine, Onwuegbuzie. He was my classmate in university. I moved to his house and there was history. In 2 years, everything has just changed. And I'm really grateful to God and whoever made this possible, you know. So that's basically it. That's my story.
Wow. See, it's interesting the kind of journey that different people take. Okay. And careers is one thing that people don't think about when they enter. They never see the end, okay, because they have never thought about it. And when they get in there, they just do anything. Okay. and they end up unhappy for years and years and years, and they don't do anything meaningful to change things, but they end up complaining.
Yeah, I found myself at that point, at a point in time. I was always complaining. Yeah.
Okay. See, what I'm telling you now, practically over 70% of people who work at jobs are working at jobs they don't like.
Yeah.
Including myself when I was in banking.
Okay.
I did well, but I gained a lot of skills, but I wasn't really happy being see, I tell people I was never a banker. I was a bank worker. Okay. I worked in banking. Okay. But I was never a banker at any time. Okay. I ended up working in HR, working in control, working in what we call the business office. And then the closest I got in banking, in core banking work, was when I worked with the trade operations teams. But I worked there as a back office person, helping with the reconciliation, and I carried over some of the functions of the business office. So I was working maybe in two different areas. Anyway,
yeah, I get how that feels like.
Yeah. Good. So I was never a banker. I worked across multiple roles, supporting banking functions. Okay. Now I came to the UK. I continue working as a project manager, working in other financial institutions. But then I made money. I did my work, but I wasn't really happy.
Yeah.
See, completely that was because I never sat down to ask myself, what do you want? You see, that simple question, what do you want? Many people don't ever ask themselves of that question. That question
at all.
It's as if they are afraid of finding out that what they want is maybe in the opposite direction of the path they're on. You see,
that's true.
See, even if what you want is in the other direction, the earlier you know that, the earlier you can turn around and start working towards it.
Exactly.
And this is what, since I find my own path, this is what I try to help other people to achieve, either in personal life or either in a career, in a business, because the same thing happens everywhere. Nobody ever asks themselves, what do I want? You know. So I'm glad that you found your path.
Thank you.
Yeah.